This is my winning AR15 setup that I use every single time I go to the range now. Now, if there's one thing that I hate about going to the range, it's packing up all of this stuff. So if there's one thing that I like about the setups, it's that they are super minimal. There's nothing here that doesn't need to be here, and everything can fit into this little bag here. So starting off with the rifle itself, I am using the PSA Dagger 6 Creedmoor. I have this set up in a 16-inch barrel with the 300 blackout, and I absolutely love it. The reason why I went with the shorter barrel length is because of how quiet it is. And I've got an extended muzzle device break on the end of it, so that mitigates even more of that sound. But don't think that this setup is only good for indoor shooting. This is actually the setup that I take out to the range every single time when I go. In fact, this rifle has never left my side since the day I bought it. And I just put 700 rounds through this baby right now, and I absolutely love it. In terms of the upper receiver, I have a PSA 16-inch upper that came with the upper parts kit, and then I just threw in a B5 Systems Enhanced charging handle. Now, let's talk about optics. So I have the Primary Arms SLX 1x6x optic. It has got an ACSS reticle, which means that it's going to change depending on what caliber that you're using. So in this case, because we're shooting the 300 blackout, it's automatically going to change that reticle and make sure that everything is dead on accurate for us. One of my favorite features on this optic is the illuminated reticle. I don't know why more companies don't do this, but it makes it really easy to pick up your target and see exactly where you're shooting, especially when you're in low-light conditions or at nighttime. Also, another really cool feature on this optic is that it has a parallax adjustment. So I'm pretty nearsighted, so I have to adjust this almost all the way down in order to see the reticle clearly. But if you want to, you can focus it at any distance from 40 yards all the way out to infinity. Now, underneath the optic, I have a Unity Fast RMR mount. And the reason why I went with the Unity is because, first of all, it's American-made. And secondly, it's very strong. It has an anti-rotation design to it, so you can be absolutely confident that your optic is not rotating in any way. It's also a very thin profile. Not all optics are created equally when it comes to their height above the bore axis, and the Unity allows you to keep things as low profile as possible. And lastly, it's got a quick release lever so that you can take the optic off quickly. Now, the reason why I chose to go with a quick release lever is because of the anti-theft feature. If somebody tries to grab the gun and run off with it, the optic is going to come off and stay here while the gun runs off with them. Alright, so now we've talked about the optic and we've talked about the mount. Let's talk about the actual suppressor. So, on the end of the barrel, I've got the rugged Obsidian 9. This is a titanium-built suppressor that's only 5/8 inches long. With the muzzle device break and the Obsidian 9 together, it only adds 8 to 1 inches to the overall length of the rifle, which is not bad at all. Now, this thing is full auto, so that means that there are no baffles inside of it, and it is completely safe for use with suppressors. As far as the mounting system goes, I'm using the Surefire muzzle brake out front, and I'm using the rugged direct thread mount. So there's two different options. You can either go with the rugged direct thread mount, or you can go with the Surefire Warden mount. The great thing about these two mounts is that they are completely user serviceable. They are very easy to take apart and clean. The only downside to them, though, is that they are kind of heavy. Now, the reason why I went with the rugged direct thread mount over the Surefire Warden mount is because I wanted to keep things as low profile as possible. So this actually indexes into the Picatinny slots and keeps the overall profile lower than the Warden mount does. The only downside to this is that it can interfere with some stocks, but I'm using a collapsible stock, so that's not a problem for me. Alright, so now we've covered the major components, but let's talk about the accessories. So, starting off at the 3 o'clock position, I've got the Surefire X300A weapon light. Now, I did a comparison between the X300A and the Mod Light Legacy, and the X300A came out on top for me. The main reasons for that were the larger battery, the longer run time, and the fact that you can turn the strobe feature on and off, whereas on the Mod Light you cannot. This is a dual-fuel weapon light, meaning that you can run either a 1234 battery or a CR123 battery. On top of that, I have a Midwest Industries flip-up iron sight. The reason why I went with the Midwest Industries is because of the dovetail design. That dovetail design allows you to be able to drift the sight a little bit if you ever need to, and that is something that you cannot do with a standard AR15 sight. I then have a Magpul RLS QD sling swivel. I've tried a lot of different sling swivels, and for me the Magpul RLS is the best one that I've used so far. It is very sturdy and it will never rip off accidentally like some of the other ones that I've had in the past. To that, I attach the Blue Alpha Gearworks QD sling. This is probably the most comfortable sling that I've ever used, and one of my favorite things about it is the ladder-style adjuster. You can adjust this sling in any increment that you want to. You don't have to worry about making it perfectly even or anything like that, and the pad itself is super thick and very comfortable. Then, moving down to the bottom of the handguard, I have a Magpul M-Lock QD attachment. This is how I attach my M-Lock flashlight to the gun. And speaking of flashlights, I'm currently running the Streamlight ProTac HLX. I absolutely love this flashlight. It is incredibly small, lightweight, and compact. It's also super bright, and it has multiple brightness settings. I honestly don't even use this as a dedicated pistol light anymore. Instead, I use it as a regular flashlight because it's just that good. Now, moving down to the trigger guard, I have a Magpul trigger guard. I like the oversized design of this thing. It is just much easier to pull, and it makes it really easy to keep your finger high and on the trigger until you've made a conscious decision to fire. Moving on to the handguard itself, I'm using a 13-9 Ergo aluminum handguard. I like the knurled design on the sides of it. It makes it really easy to grip the gun without having to actually touch the forend. Also, it has an oversized heat shield so that you can wrap your hand all the way around it and get a better grip. I have a couple of Magpul M lock panels on here. They basically just fill up some real estate and add a little bit of texture. I also have a Unity Fast RMR button on here, so if I ever want to ditch the optic, I can do that very easily. Now moving down to the lower receiver, I have a PSA lower parts kit. The only thing that I swapped out was the safety selector. I upgraded that to an ALG Advanced Combat Safety Selector. The reason why I upgraded this is because of the extended length. When you're wearing gloves, it just makes it a lot easier to manipulate. Finally, the stock itself, I am using the Magpul B5 Systems Carbine stock. This is adjustable for length of pull, and it's also got a nice rubber butt pad on it. Well, that is my current winning setup. Like I said earlier, this is the setup that I use every time I go to the range. It's super minimal. It doesn't have a bunch of stuff hanging off of it that I don't need. And it's reliable. I absolutely love this setup. The only thing that I might switch out in the future is the Unity Fast RMR mount. I'm thinking about switching over to a G-code incog. But other than that, I'm really happy with this setup, and I think that you guys are really going to enjoy it too. If you guys enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe and turn on notifications. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.